Good evening, song, gentle viewer. I have a slightly larger plate than normal this evening. Believe it or not, this is a weight loss channel. I know that sounds odd, but it is. And what I'm going to talk about today relates to weight loss. But I have a kind of mashed potato concoction. And I made a kind of jus, a kind of gravy to go with it, which consists of red onion, garlic, capers, and anchovies, and some red wine. Pushing the boat out. And here's a little glass of the grape to wash it all down. Two different meat sauces today. We do have a humble sausage. However, this humble sausage is unlike the previous humble sausages from the last video, and that it comes from a different butcher. And when I looked at the labelling, there was very little on there apart from cornstarch that gave me pause for thought or concern. (26) Apart from the fact that they're merguez sausages with added chili. Oh my goodness. And they are, that is chili. I have to say, that is chili. Now, I'm also going to share with you that I made this video last night. I was particularly pleased with the way it went. And then when I played it back, it had no sound. So this is version 2, hopefully with sound. Last night's meal was only steak. Here's some of the steak. Got a good chew there. You really do. Fantastic. So I left a bit of the steak for tonight, and I sort of beefed it up with a bit of sausage. So sue me. There we go. So this is a diet and weight loss channel. Amazing. So how on earth did I get from a diet and weight loss channel to a mukbang? Fairly circuitous route, but I'll explain. One of my ambitions has been to run a diet group in a restaurant for many, many years. And I came quite close this summer to organising it. So how this came about was I read a book over the summer, Within Thinking, and I created a course on Teachable. And I thought, well, you know, a nice way to kind of market that might be to sit around with people and have a meal, talk about weight loss, but think about very carefully about chewing and the effect of chewing on weight loss. That was before I read Ultra Processed People. Because my book, in thinking, is kind of well, when I first created it, I called it the Mindful Eating Project. So the closest thing to it is learning how to eat mindfully, learning how to eat more slowly, learning how to savor food and sort of enjoy flavors. But one of the presuppositions of that system is that what you do as an individual very much decides the shape of your body. However, I was eating a lot of things that I like the taste of just because I like the taste of them. And the thing that really blew it out of the water for me was this book, Highly Processed People, which really, it's got the tagline, it's not you, it's the food. So you can chew as much as you want, but if you're eating highly processed food, you're not going to lose a lot of weight. And I now feel that when I did lose my 10 kilos a couple of years ago now, what I wonder now is the extent to which that was as a result of inadvertently eating ultra processed food and not so much about chewing. I don't know. Anyway, I feel the need to blow my nose. Please excuse me. Anyway, I now feel that I've got a handle on it and that I've managed to allow those two thought processes to converge. And so rather than go and eat in a restaurant, I just decided off the cuff really to create or to use the YouTube channel that already existed, that I already had, to create these videos where you can eat along with me. Hence the title. So let me get to the point that I wanted to make in this video, because I've subtitled this one The Kitchen Gym. And this comes from my experience as a slightly older person. You may have had this experience as well, who wants to lose weight. Now, I've joined gyms before. I've got nothing against gyms. I'm planning on joining another one. But what I do find when I go to a gym, you might sort of relate to this, is I feel a real sense of age gap. Particularly when I see literally kids there, which I often do. I was in the changing room once and I remember some 16-year-old boy was backing into me because he didn't see I was there. He was too busy taking selfies of himself to go on Instagram. Anyway, here's the whole point of the kitchen gym. So let's say you join a gym, right? and you wander into the weights room of the gym. Now, what do weights rooms in gyms always look like? They're full of gym bros. Who are the gym bros? These are the guys that walk around with the V shape and the big muscles, the big arms, the big legs. You know, the guys that are lifting heavy. Okay? So, I saw an interview with one of these guys online a few years ago. Slightly older. And he was talking about his training routine, you know, and was being asked about it. I think he might even have been a PT. Anyway, the interviewer said to him, if you could isolate one thing that made the most difference to your results, to your gains, what would that thing be? And the gym guy, the trainer, said something quite unexpected. He said 80% of your results come from your diet. Now, if you are a gym bro and you're watching this, please excuse my use of the term gym bro. It's not meant to be demeaning. But can you leave me a comment and tell me if that is true? 80% of your gains come from diet. So the obvious question is, for me, if you know that 80% of your gains come from your diet, and 20% of your gains come from the work you do in the gym, why do you spend 80% of your time in the gym and not in the kitchen? Fair question. And when you do ask this notional gym bro what he actually eats, what's he likely to say? Chicken and broccoli. And he'll probably have a cheat day once a week where, you know, he'll eat whatever he wants. Oh, spicy. So from my perspective, rather than as a person over 40, maybe, or over 50, trying to shoehorn yourself into Lycra and turn up in this very depressing neon lit building full of people half your age feeling inferior, wouldn't it be nicer just to go into the kitchen, have a glass of something nice, and cook up a storm? And what if that was the thing that allowed you to actually lose the weight and get the kind of body that you were going for anyway? Just a thought. I think it's partly to do with what I describe as the commoditization of society. It feels to me like our health has literally been packaged, marketed, and sold back to us. Because before Jane Fonda, whenever that was in the 70s, whoever went to a gym, they didn't exist. You had something like Muscle Beach. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to sort of publicly work out on these beaches. People, there were like specialist gyms, But there was none of this treadmill, music, exercise bikes, all that kind of stuff. It just didn't exist. What did people do? I'll tell you what they did. They were thin. Very odd. It's really very odd how it's become this way. So going back to a diet group in a restaurant, for me, that seemed like the perfect contradiction to what we're experiencing at the moment. And a perfect way to sort of explain to people that food is massively important. Massively, massively important. Culturally important, nutritionally important, important health-wise. And meals are important, right? Sitting down with your family, with someone else, having a meal, discussing whatever it is you find important. That's really what it's about. Now, once again, the fortunate outcome is that I've got 3 pieces of sausage that I don't want to eat, and so I'm not going to. And the reason I don't want to eat them is because I'm getting that full signal from my stomach to my brain, and I've learned that rather than override that signal, I'm going to obey it, I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to finish my meal there. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Cheers.